Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and The Punisher on Netflix has an official release date, November 17th, and a new trailer filled with more Metallica, more darkness, and more Jon Bernthal grunting at things. So let's quickly run through this and point out some of the stuff you might have missed. Cool? Let's get started.
Gentlemen, I'm the only authority you will need. I point, you shoot. Did you kill the target?
What did you see?
Okay, this first section gives us more context for the Black Ops mission in Afghanistan that Frank Castle was part of that led to his troubles back home. We see Rollins again, the shadowy CIA figure who is apparently running this operation. And judging from Castle being covered in blood and taking a swing at him, I'm guessing this mission went south, and these men weren't given the complete information on what the mission was. And then look closely at this shot of Castle firing out the door. Now I can't tell if the person he's firing at is an also armed hostile insurgent or an unarmed civilian fleeing. Either way, I have a feeling that Castle may have been ordered to do something unethical, and that's what he's so pissed off about. Let's move on.
Things over there were different. What we were doing was wrong. You did what you were supposed to do, right?
Now the only person you're punishing is yourself.
Frank Castle?
I got something I need to show you.
I saw the video files.
The U.S. military turned you into a hitman, Frank.
Okay, in this next section, it looks like Frank is participating in some group therapy in a church basement. Nice wordplay here with the only person you're punishing is yourself line. Yeah, it looks like the Punisher will be dealing with those same Catholic guilt and redemption themes that another Marvel Netflix series embraced, where a devil of Hell's Kitchen battled with his own inner devils. See, I can do it too. We also see more of Mike Rowe, the hacker/whistleblower character who teams up with Frank to take down his former superiors. Now, in our last trailer, I pointed out the file name at the top of the window, the Zubair interrogation. And a lot of you pointed out to me that Zubair is actually the name of a town in Iraq. That's correct, but we find out in the next section it applies to something different. Let's move on.
I'm looking for Frank Castle.
The Punisher?
I think you know about my case.
Castle's the last witness. We can either clean this up or let him take us down.
Okay, here again we see the Department of Homeland Security agent Dina Madani, and judging from her investigation board, you know, the kind that investigators but also conspiracy theorists have, her case focuses on the mission that Castle was a part of. And now we see what Zubair refers to. It's a name, Ahmad Zubair. So the Zubair interrogation literally refers to probably the torture of this guy, Ahmad. Perhaps he uncovered evidence of an assassination program that Rollins is running illegally in Afghanistan. Also notice how in this shot, Rollins now has this sick-looking scar next to his eye socket. Apparently he had that last trailer, but it just zoomed in so much I didn't notice. Now his discolored eye suggests that he lost vision in that eye, and I'm assuming he got this injury from Castle. Remember, we saw him punch him earlier. Let's actually look more closely at that hit. Whoa, Castle punches freaking eye out. Does that happen? Can people punch that hard? I guess Jon Bernthal can. I mean, he's been lifted, bro. Now, the other mysterious shot in this section is this sniper scope point of view shot showing a carousel. Now, the editing makes it look like it's in the same scene as Castle's memory of his murdered family, but look closely, that looks like a woman and her daughter bloodied up and bound to the carousel. So what the F is going on here? Why would anyone want to do this? Considering the murder of Castle's family was probably a surprise assassination they didn't see coming, I don't think this is that same event. Instead, I think someone is recreating the murder of Castle's family with different people just to mess with Castle's head. It's very easy to mess with. And the sniper shot is from his point of view. This all could be orchestrated by Billy Russo, aka Jigsaw. After all, it is the kind of creepy death trap move another Jigsaw would pull.
Want to play a game?
Ooh, let's move on.
You have my feeling to get to me.
I can't remember anything.
You have nothing but a war inside you.
You're gonna pay.
Okay, the music here in this trailer is still Metallica's One, it's just a different part of the song. I actually went deep into that song's thematic and acoustic parallels to The Punisher in my breakdown of the last trailer, so check that out. And Frank's voiceover here, "They killed my family to get to me," is interesting because it officially changes the background of his family's murder from being crime-related to part of this military government conspiracy cover-up. Remember, in Daredevil Season 2, Castle was under the assumption that Reyes' war against drug gangs in connection with the blacksmith's drug supply lines were responsible for for the violence that took his family. But here it seems that this season of The Punisher is making the cause even more personal for Castle. In this section, we also see more of this car chase that we saw in the last trailer, but now we see who's behind the wheel of the pursuing car, DHS agent Dina Madani. And we get an even closer look of what happens to her in this next section.
Stay on my way. This is not your fight.
Yikes! Okay, this car accident messed Dina up. For a second, she actually looked dead, which would be crazy to show the death of a main character in the trailer, but no, look closely, that's her eye definitely blinking there. It does seem like Castle was the one to plow that truck into Dina's car, but the fact that he carries her away from this accident scene suggests that he doesn't want her to die, just to stop following him. But you know, the Punisher just has trouble using his words. Another way to look at this is perhaps someone else drove that truck, nearly killing Dina, maybe for getting too close to Rollins in her investigation, and Castle was the right guy in the right place at the right time, showed up to kill these other guys and save her. I don't know, we'll see. Let's move on.
I need to find these bastards. I gotta kill them.
So where does that end, Frank? What if you're exposed them?
In this section, we see the dependable Karen Page trying to talk down Castle from his revenge quest. I really like her saying, "Where does it end?" because it's pretty much how the Punisher operates in the comics. He actually already avenged his family's death way in the past. The killers were among his first victims when he started being a vigilante. But he is so broken that the war never stops for him. Being the Punisher is just his identity now. Also, when Castle is infiltrating this building, notice the security guard's hat and jacket. Anvil. Anvil Corporation is the name of the arms contractor that Billy Russo, aka Jigsaw, now works for, which could be his connection with Rollins and the government. Let's move on.
These men, they decide what the truth is.
The same thing that happened to you happened to me. We could make that right.
Okay, some more action in these shots, including a shootout with Dina in what looks like some clothing manufacturing warehouse. Notice those mannequins. This is an interesting location. I'm wondering who in Dina's investigation led her here. My theory is Madame Gao. Last time we saw her was in The Defenders in that big underground fight at Midland Circle as the building above caved in, but we didn't see her body, so I'm guessing she's still around. Also in Daredevil Season 2, Matt found Madame Gao in a laundromat type place, so I'm thinking it's possible that this clothing warehouse could be another one of Madame Gao's fronts. Perhaps she is an informant on Dina's way to learning the truth about the criminal underworld of Hell's Kitchen, the blacksmith, and perhaps any connections to Rollins. Also, this upset woman appears to be Micro's wife. Perhaps Castle this season will help repair Micro's family since, you know, he cannot ever repair his own. Let's move on to the final section.
The world needs to see the truth.
Okay, this trailer closes out with some more intense action, but then after the title, we get the release date, November 17th. So this is interesting for a few reasons. For one, yes, it does appear that Netflix planned to release The Punisher earlier than this, in the month of October, but they might have pushed back the release date because of mass shootings being in the news. Jason R. Moore, who plays Curtis Hoyle, apparently liked a tweet where someone speculated this. Now they've moved it to November 17th, which, yes, is the same day Justice League is opening. Now a lot of fans begin to speculate that this is an aggressive move by Marvel to compete with DC and Warner Brothers. But I honestly don't think that factored into the decision that much. Yes, there is some healthy competition between these two studios, and that probably did factor into them moving Thor Ragnarok into the same month as Justice League. But on the Netflix side of things, Netflix just has a dense release calendar with new series or movies dropping pretty much every Friday. And guys, to be honest, a streaming service series release isn't really much of a competitor with a huge, wide release of a film from a major studio worldwide. Not everyone is at war with each other, just Frank Castle. He's at war with everything and himself. Should the Punisher have changed Castle's family death backstory from mob killing to military assassination? Now, if you like this video, you may be interested in checking out a new series New Rockstars is launching called The Need to Know. And on next week's episode, The Need to Know is holding a costume contest. On the show, we feature video reactions from our friends and followers on Stardust. And if you post your reaction to your favorite TV shows or films in your best Halloween costume and tag us in that post, we, one, could feature you in in our episode of the Need to Know. But 2, you will be entered into our costume contest, and the top 3 will win cash prizes. Guys, you gotta get on this. It's a great opportunity. And by the way, you can download the Stardust app by clicking our download link in the description below. So check out the Need to Know and comment on this video any thoughts you have down below, and tweet your thoughts directly to me at Erik Voss, or follow New Rockstars on Twitter at New Rockstars for updates on our videos. Like and share this video, and subscribe to New Rockstars for more deep dives into all the Marvel stuff that you love. And if you really like our videos, you can contribute to us on Patreon. Big thanks to all of our donors, especially Kenny Smith. Thanks for watching, bye.